his brother's protection racket. Excommunicado was always at war with someone, be it hot or cold, with competitor clans, the government, the Triad, and that meant that when two serious threats appeared, Colonel gathered his security officers in secret and told them to start digging. He didn't just want to find the threats in real life, he also wanted to prevent his sworn friends from the Alliance from suspecting anything. After studying the analyst's reports, Hyro decided that one of the threats must be a non-citizen. Hyro himself was one, and from a place known as Hell on Earth, in the Guyana cesspit. He got citizenship through 10 years of service in the Peacekeepers, then changed his address, but never forgot his old non-citizen friends. It was them, in the Guyana cesspit and neighboring Cali Bottom, who he went to for information. When one of his agents told him of some strange events in Cali Bottom, Hyro's ears pricked up like a hunting dog on a scent. He started to dig, and his efforts were rewarded. One of the students he and Willie intercepted in the sky over Cali was a threat, but he hadn't decided what to do with the information yet. First, he needed to meet the threat, understand what he wanted, maybe get some more intel. He downed a painkiller, drank down his coffee, and got ready for work. His wife, Maria, kissed him, adjusted his collar, and sighed anxiously.
Hyro.
What, dear?
Have you spoken to Caesar about that promotion?
Yeah, he told me where to stick it. When Joao learned that I'd gone over his head, he shouted loud enough to break windows.
Oh no, she groaned. We could lose our home, Hyro. If you don't confirm your status, they'll increase our mortgage rates. What about Isolda? How will we pay her?
I'll fix it. Don't worry.
Hyro pulled his wife close and hugged her. He hadn't told her yet of the money from the threat in Dis. He'd split the money 50-50 with Willie, and it was all still in game. He had to think about how to get it out. Back then, when he'd met those teenagers in Cali Bottom, Hyro had improvised. But now that all his hunches were paying off, to his own limitless surprise, and he'd gotten the money for the copper bar, he was panicking, afraid of losing it. Nothing prevented him from withdrawing it all to his account. Nothing except the unavoidable questions from the financial services. They had unlimited access to player transactions in Dis, and the metal bar he'd sold for $1 million wasn't worth even a single gold coin. There would be questions that he could not answer. And then, Hyro didn't want to think about what might happen then.
Gotta go, darling.
He gently released his wife and left the house. Once at base, he met his partner, detailed the plans for the day. They agreed a work front, and Hyro and Willie set off on their patrol routes.
Brought it?
Hyro asked soundlessly, just moving his lips. Willie nodded. Flying above one of the zones, their shark stopped above a small village of the Wild Ones. That was the name for the Inwenova that left for districts declared by the authorities as unfit for life. Inwenova. Hyro spat mentally. Individuals of no value to society. That's what sneering citizens called non-citizens. But Hyro had childhood friends from among the people who lived in those places. Willie knew people there too. Good people, with big hearts. The partners regularly dropped crates of UNB rations, universal nutrient blends, along with clothing and medicine. But today, the cargo contained something else.
I gotta take a leak,
Hyro said loudly for anyone who might be listening in the future. The shark stopped a couple of yards above the surface. Willie silently passed the crates of machine guns and ammo to the people that met us. They were old guns, long since removed from production. Echoes of war. Once the packages had been taken, Hyro launched the shark rapidly and resumed the previous route. The colorful men below, with their worn clothes and rugged faces, raised their fists as one and shouted something. Hyro nodded, though he didn't think they saw him. In the zones, you can usually see the air you're breathing. Willie and Hyro didn't discuss what had happened. They'd talked it all over yesterday. Hunters sometimes went to the zones, successful citizens thirsting for adrenaline. They set up so-called safaris, shooting the wild ones.
There isn't a single animal left in the world that isn't protected by law,
Hyro thought bitterly.